This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Police capture 2 men wanted in U.S. on lottery scamming and drugs allegations. The police yesterday morning separately arrested 2 men who were wanted for extradition to the United States on drugs and lottery scamming allegations in St. James. 41-year-old Damian Clark and Damon Oakley, 40, were nabbed by members of the Jamaica Fugitive Apprehension Team, Lottery Scam Task Force, and the Area 1 Operational Support Team. The police say about 3 a.m., the cops carried out an operation in Mount Salem, where a premises was searched and Clark was held. He is wanted in the U.S. for firearm and drug-related charges. Meanwhile, Oakley was apprehended around 8 a.m. during an operation in Springmount, also in St. James. Both men have been taken into custody pending extradition hearings. 2 cabinet ministers test positive for COVID-19. Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Horace Chang and the Labor and the Social Security Minister Carl Samuda have tested positive for COVID-19. However, Minister with responsibility for information Robert Morgan said the cabinet ministers are fine. He says they are asymptomatic. Chang, who is also Minister of National Security, and the Samuda are fully vaccinated, Morgan said. They received their positive results over the weekend. Morgan said the remaining cabinet ministers have tested negative for the disease. The news comes amid an uptick in COVID-19 cases on the island. The health ministry reported yesterday that 194 cases were confirmed on Monday, with a positivity rate of 33.8%, one of the highest in weeks. 77 persons were hospitalized. The Medical Association of Jamaica has urged the imposition of tighter restrictions, noting that Jamaica is currently experiencing a 5th wave of the virus. Second person dies in Medarest shooting. A second person has died following yesterday afternoon's shooting of a funeral party at the Medarest Memorial Gardens in St. Catherine. A man has succumbed to injuries, the police say. Earlier, investigators confirmed that Shanice Peach Dean, 27, was killed in the incident that happened about 1 p.m. Shanice was the sister of Ananda Dean, whose murder in 2008 shocked the nation, and after whom Ananda Alert, a missing persons program for children, has been named. The funeral attendees was reportedly trailed from Kingston and attacked while leaving the burial ground. Eyewitnesses say multiple rounds were discharged by the gunmen in the direction of the attendees. Police find the gun and the phones with identity info under a tree in St. Elizabeth. The St. Elizabeth police seized a gun during an operation yesterday afternoon that also uncovered identity information for persons living overseas. No one was arrested. The 9mm Browning pistol was recovered with a magazine containing 9 9mm rounds of ammunition. It follows an operation in burnt ground Santa Cruz in the parish yesterday afternoon. The police say a team of officers was conducting operations in the area when a premises was searched and the handgun found under a tree along with several rounds of ammunition. Further checks revealed 3 cellular phones with identity information for persons living overseas, which were also seized. Agriculture Ministry starts Grow Smart, Eat Smart strategy for food security. Agriculture Minister Pernell Charles Jr. says the ministry has developed a strategic plan to ensure food security amid the challenges posed by rising prices and the supply issues arising from the war in Ukraine. Mr. Charles says the Grow Smart, Eat Smart strategy is aimed at optimizing production and getting Jamaicans to eat more nutritious food. Part of this strategy, he says, will see a thrust towards the production of starches to substitute for imported staples, like wheat, that could be limited by disruptions.
We have developed a strategic plan to safeguard against disruptions of inputs and potential fallout in the sector. The ministry, through our divisions and agencies, is rapidly expanding the production of our starches, high-fiber foods, roots, and tubers such as yam, sweet potato, cassava, banana, breadfruit, and plantains, which are to be grown and processed to be used as viable alternatives to anything that we can import to consume. Madam Speaker, regarding identifying alternate sources of protein, we have increased our production of fish, small ruminants, pork, poultry, and even rabbit, Madam Speaker, in anticipation of any fallout that may occur due to vagrant factors. We're putting mechanisms in place for increased commercial production of, hear me now, organic fertilizer from composting from household materials. This is an existing project that we will be ramping up on a national scale. If it is that fertilizer costs too much, then Jamaica must pivot and we must utilize the mechanisms that will allow us to use what we have. We are working with the main fertilizer manufacturer also to guide research for the development of new blends that will see a more efficient use of fertilizers and therefore cut the cost to farmers.
Police Federation blasts High Command and Government. The Police High Command, the Government, and the Ministry of National Security came under fire on Tuesday during the Police Federation's 79th Annual Conference. Federation Chairman Corporal Rohan James took the High Command to task over the welfare of rank-and-file personnel, operational changes within the Jamaica Constabulary Force, and inconsistencies in the promotion of members. Mr. James accused the High Command of sidestepping the Federation whenever it tries to make representation on behalf of its members.
The Police Federation has to be warring with our High Command for certain things, and proper respect and communication in relation to our welfare and well-being. And I will say it today without any fear of contradiction. On numerous occasions, we have to drag the High Command before the Police Services Commission to get things done. Does the Jamaica Constabulary Force High Command believe in the policies that they ascribe in black and white? The answer is no. Does the Jamaica Constabulary Force High Command exercise proper respect and effective communication when they seek to deviate from the policies that they create in black and white? It is no. We are saying, sir, give us back our dignity. Stop treating us as we are children of a lesser God. Bring back the semblance. We have a regulation. We have a Constabulary Force Act, and it has not been repealed. I'm happy that the minister is joining virtually. Minister, the time has come for you to tell us, the rank and file members, whether or not the Jamaica Constabulary Force is militarized secretly, because we are seen whereas you have battalion commander, staff officer, regimental officer, and we are saying we know nothing about those ranks. Tell us the truth. Come clean with us. Our council over there, Theos Rowley, is awaiting any outcome that is adverse against us. We will not be robbed blind. We work for it. We are not begging.
On April 5, the High Court reserved the judgment on whether the government should pay billions of dollars to the cops. The Police Federation says its members are owed $40 billion plus interest. Efforts to reach an out-of-court settlement collapsed late last year after the government reportedly offered a $10 billion package. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang attended the Police Federation's annual conference virtually. He revealed that he has tested positive for COVID-19.
Members of the Federation, delegates, I said I apologize, and I apologize, although it is a cycle to overcome. I didn't want to become a super spreader. I tested positive on Saturday. I'll be looking to be fully operational by next week.
One killed in Manchester 3-vehicle crash, says police. A man was killed in a 3-vehicle collision on the Content Main Road in Manchester yesterday evening, the police have confirmed. Several persons were reportedly injured and had to be transported to hospital. A police spokesperson at the Kendal police station said some persons were pinned down in the affected vehicles. The deceased man was not identified. The incident resulted in a pileup of traffic in the Williamsfield area. COVID-19 on the radar in Westmoreland as self-testers hide status. Medical Officer of Health at Westmoreland Health Services, Dr. Marcia Graham, has raised the concern about the accuracy of coronavirus records in the parish because persons using self-testing kits are not turning over results to the authorities. Graham's revelation during last week's general meeting of the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation coincides with the rise in COVID-19 cases amid what some health experts are already declaring a fifth wave of the pandemic. There are persons whose test kits are positive and they only come to the health department because their workplace asked them to get a letter to go back to work when we were not aware that they were COVID-19 positive because they did the self-test kit in privacy at their home, Graham said. The medical officer of health said the challenge has deepened with the ready access of COVID-19 home self-testing kits at local pharmacies. Self-testing kits are widely available over the counter at pharmacies in western Jamaica, with the prices as low as $2,325 in St. James and as high as $2,760 in Westmoreland. Graham disclosed that some persons who had subjected themselves to self-test kits with the assistance of private doctors had refused to inform the health department of the results, opting instead to stay home. Last October, Dr. Christopher Tufton, the Minister of Health and Wellness, distributed the first 5,000 COVID-19 self-testing kits to tourism workers from an initial stock of 40,000 valued at approximately $56 million. If you do a self-test kit and it is positive, it is important that you call the health department because we need to know and offer you the PCR test, which is gold standard, Graham insisted. Also, we need to do the contact tracing so we can prevent the COVID-19 from spreading to others, or else we will find ourselves in another surge in the parish. After weeks of single-digit recordings, Jamaica's COVID-19 positivity rate has climbed over the last fortnight with a high of 30%. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.